Welcome to Lumenara. Take a quiet moment to settle your heart and mind as we continue our journey through the book of Genesis. Today, we will read Genesis chapters 13 and 14 from the World English Bible. These chapters reveal Abram's humility as he allows Lot to choose the land first, God's renewed promise of countless descendants, the dramatic rescue of Lot, and the remarkable meeting with Melchizedek, the priest of God Most High. As you listen, may these ancient words fill your heart with wisdom, strengthen your faith, and remind you that God's promises remain faithful through every generation. Now let us begin. Genesis chapter 13, verse 1. Abram went up out of Egypt, he, his wife, all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. Verse 2. Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. Verse 3. He went on his journeys from the south as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai. Verse 4. To the place of the altar, which he had made there at the first. There, Abram called on Yahweh's name. Verse 5. Lot also, who went with Abram, had flocks, herds, and tents. Verse 6. The land was not able to bear them, that they might live together, for their possessions were so great that they couldn't live together. Verse 7. There was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. The Canaanites and the Perizzites lived in the land at that time. Verse 8. Abram said to Lot, "Please, let there be no strife between you and me, and between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, for we are relatives." Verse 9. Isn't the whole land before you? Please separate yourself from me. If you go to the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if you go to the right hand, then I will go to the left. Verse 10. Lot lifted up his eyes and saw all the plain of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Egypt, as you go to Zoar. Verse 11. So Lot chose the plain of the Jordan for himself. Lot traveled east, and they separated themselves from one another. Verse 12. Abram lived in the land of Canaan, and Lot lived in the cities of the plain, and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Verse 13. Now the men of Sodom were exceedingly wicked, and sinners against Yahweh. Verse 14. Yahweh said to Abram, after Lot was separated from him, "Now lift up your eyes, and look from the place where you are, northward and southward, eastward and westward." Verse 15. For I will give all the land which you see to you and to your offspring forever. Verse 16. I will make your offspring as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can count the dust of the earth, then your offspring may also be counted. Verse 17. Arise, walk through the land in its length and in its width, for I will give it to you. Verse 18. Abram moved his tent and came and lived by the oaks of Mamre, which are in Hebron. There, he built an altar to Yahweh. Genesis chapter 14, verse 1. In the days of Amraphel king of Shinar, Arioch king of Elasar, Chedorlaomer king of Elam, and Tidal king of Goyim. Verse 2. These kings made war against Bera, king of Sodom, Birsha king of Gomorrah, Shinab king of Admah, Shemeber king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, also called Zoar. Verse 3. All these joined together in the valley of Siddim, also called the Salt Sea. Verse 4. They served Chedorlaomer for 12 years, but in the 13th year they rebelled. Verse 5. In the 14th year, Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him came and defeated the Rephaim in Ashtaroth Karnaim, the Zuzim in Ham, the Emim in Shaveh Kiriathaim, verse 6, and the Horites in Mount Seir, as far as El Paran, which is near the wilderness, verse 7. Then they turned back and came to En Mishpat, also called Kadesh, and conquered all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites, who lived in Hazazon Tamar, verse 8. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, also called Zoar, went out and prepared for battle against them in the valley of Siddim. Verse 9. They fought against Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal king of Goyim, Amraphel king of Shinar, and Ariosh king of Elasar, 4 kings against 5. Verse 10. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits. The kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, and some fell there, while the rest escaped into the hills. Verse 11. The victors took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, all their food, and departed. Verse 12. They also took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who lived in Sodom, along with his possessions, and departed. Verse 13. One who had escaped came and told Abram the Hebrew. At that time, he was living by the oaks of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and Aner, who were allies of Abram. Verse 14. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he led out his 318 trained men, born in his own household, and pursued the invaders as far as Dan. Verse 15. During the night, Abram divided his men against them, he and his servants, and struck them. He pursued them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. Verse 16. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot, together with his possessions, the women, and all the other people. Verse 17. After Abram returned from defeating Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh, also called the King's Valley. Verse 18. Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High. Verse 19. He blessed Abram and said, Blessed be Abram, of God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. Verse 20. And blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. Then Abram gave him 1/10 of everything. Verse 21. The king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the people, and keep the goods for yourself. Verse 22. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand to Yahweh, God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. Verse 23. That I will not take a thread, nor a sandal strap, nor anything that belongs to you, lest you should say, I have made Abram rich. Verse 24. I will accept nothing, except what the young men have eaten, and the share belonging to the men who went with me, Honor, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them receive their portion. Thank you for reading with us today. We hope these sacred words have brought peace to your heart, strength to your spirit, and encouragement for your journey of faith. If this Bible reading has blessed you, please consider subscribing to Lumenara, liking this video, leaving a comment, and sharing God's Word with others. Your support helps us continue bringing the Scriptures to people around the world, one chapter at a time. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and guide your steps with His everlasting light. Until next time, keep His Word in your heart, and remember, let His Word be your light.